Happy Thursday. We are back with another episode of Word on the Block, and our guest for today is disrupting the liquor industry, and I am excited to have Navarr. Okay, let's see. We should be having him come in any second now. I'm excited to see him. We haven't seen each other since I left Miami.
Hello. Thank you.
I haven't seen you since Miami.
I know it's been a minute. I'm still in Miami.
Oh, okay, and I miss Miami. I'm in New York. I'm excited to have him on as well. Play catch up with him first of all, and get out in his business, and then see what we need to know because I'm sure people have questions. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, that would be awesome.
Thank you again for having me. My name is Navarr Grevious. I'm the CEO and co-founder of QuikLiq. I'm proud to say that QuikLiq is the first Black-owned alcohol delivery company and SaaS platform for the beer, wine, and spirits. We partner with mom and pop liquor stores. And when I say mom and pop liquor stores, these are liquor stores you see on every corner. You might have a bulletproof window. We give them a digital presence, alcohol delivery service, as well as a SaaS platform that we're building on the back end, which will streamline the inventory management. Our focus has been in the Southeast, so Florida and Miami, and just growing. So QuikLiq, like I said, proud to be here, proud to grow. It's been a journey. Been doing it since, 2018. So looking forward to continue to grow in the company and continue to see what's to come. I know this year we have a lot on the horizon. We do have our app now that's on the store, which has been a huge, journey for us to get to this level. But yeah, that's QuikLiq in a nutshell. We're everything for the beer, wine, and spirits industry to enable tech.
Okay. All right. Of course, I had to have you on. For the people who are listening, Navarr and I met. I honestly, I can't pinpoint where we met, but it was on the Miami tech scene for sure. Do you remember? Because I don't, honestly.
I think where I met you, it was at a tech brunch event. And as founders, we was all going around and introducing ourselves, and that's where we met. We just hit it off, obviously, natural,
And we always just want to support each other, really. That's what it comes down to, making sure that we can support each other. Word on the Block is bringing movers and shakers like you to the conversation because we believe that everybody deserves to live leisurely. And for me, that is business and leisure, and live, work, and play on their own terms. And so, of course, what you have going on enables and empowers one to do exactly that. You ready?
Yes, of course. Always ready.
Okay, so tell us, how did you know that QuikLiq needed to be a thing? Like, what is the origin story?
So, yeah, this started back in college. Been a frat, the best frat, the only frat that I can think of, cap outside of Newts. But I have two other co-founders in QuikLiq, and one of my other co-founders is actually my line brother, my frat brother, Mikáel Pyles. So back in college, and we stayed in the frat house at the time. We had a frat party at our frat house, and we ran out of liquor. And Mikáel asked me, he's like, can you go get the liquor? And I was like, I'm having fun. I don't want to go get the liquor. But if you remember, because this is around 2011 when the idea originated, you're talking about where it came from. 2011, you could easily just pick up the phone and order pizza or order Chinese food. And I was like, why can't we just pick up the phone and order liquor to our door? I mean, it's sealed, can't be, tampered with. How hard could it be? And mind you, the liquor store was only 2 blocks from where we were. Obviously, a lot of liquor stores are close to campuses. So it wasn't a far run, but still already being intoxicated. Like, that's when the idea triggered. And it went off like a light switch. I just, QuikLiq. If you look up back in 2011, that's when we first started QuikLiq, the first LLC in Atlanta, Georgia, out of college. But obviously, it was a lot of red tape and hurdles from there. And then, I could tell you go on and on. But that's the original, where QuikLiq first started.
So before we even jump into how you all built the business, you and your co-founders, most people have this fear of somebody else needs to do it. So it would be cool if somebody else did it. I'll use the service, but somebody else needs to do it. So what put the antennas on your back to be like, somebody else need to do it? And I think we're that somebody else. Like, where did that confidence stem from?
I think working for somebody else. At the time, Mikáel and I, when we that the idea stemmed from there, but we acted upon it right after we graduated from college, and we started working full time in our corporate lives. He worked for Target as an analyst, and I worked for Deloitte as an auditor. And just realizing putting, these 50, 60 hours a week, and yes, he was on salary, making great pay, but when you realize what the business was making in comparison to what they was charging you for your rate as an auditor or, even as an analyst, it was like, man, we're missing so much more on a dollar. We're getting, accolades and awards, but, we're not receiving that small merit increase of 1 to 3%. And that's when we just acted upon it. It's like, we know that, the only way for us to live the life we want to live is through ownership and through being, creating something from scratch.
That's so dope. That's real, right? Like, again, most people wouldn't even connect the dots on what needs to happen and then being the person to make it happen. So kudos to that. Like being an entrepreneur, it's not for the weak at all. And that's why I tell people, like, you have to absolutely love what you're doing, because the first time and the second time and the fifth time you get punched in your face, it's going to really show you if you're really about that life or not.
Yeah. And I'll say this, it's important. Like I said, obviously, if you don't have the capital, it's just support. You got to have a support system, a support team, whatever you want to call it. Without them, I don't think any of this is possible at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, okay, so now you guys are graduating after college and you're working full-time jobs, getting real cute checks, right? But there's something there that's like, but we can do better. We can be happier. We can have more of our lives. Like, so what was that leap like? Like, where did you guys decide we're doing this? Tell us about that part of it.
That was I guess the first leap, and I thought that was the biggest leap of my life when I realized I could tell you about Miami. But at the time, I was working for Deloitte in Atlanta, and Mikáel was working for Target up in Minnesota. So our first leap was quitting our corporate jobs and moving to New York City together to start QuikLiq. And mind you, like I said, I worked for Deloitte, a Big Four accounting firm. If you got your degree in accounting, that's one of the top firms to work for. And, he had a great job as well, and it was like, we're going to do this. We know this idea is, God-given, it's our brainchild. So we quit our jobs, both of us, and moved to New York City without a job.
I mean, it sounds like somebody I know. In this whole 2025 world, like, that's kind of wild. But okay, so why was New York? Like, tell me why New York was the place to be.
It was just more so common grounds for both of us, because at the time with Deloitte, I had an engagement going on in New York City, so I already had ties to New York City, and he had inroads to New York City, so we had kind of like a support system in New York City. It was like, hey, he was in Minnesota, I was in Atlanta. Where can we come to a middle ground that we thought that this place, could be the market that we can, thrive in? Was it a lot of research into it at that point in time? No, but it was just, it was the idea that, this is something that we can start and we can get it, going.
So I'm so curious now. I had no idea that this was even part of your story. So now I'm like, it's getting juicy, and I just want to know all the details. So what happened when you guys got to New York? How long were you here? How did that go?
So I don't want to say New York was a failure. It was a learning experience.
Absolutely.
It was a lot of research, and it was just wisdom and growth and maturity and becoming, into your own adult. As you know, and as many people may know, the alcohol industry is very regulated. They say mob ties, mafia still runs it. There's still some truth to that extent. And, because of those type of red tapes and not having the resources, we didn't never go full throttle with this business because of some of that red tape and some of those scares, and then not understanding. It's like, oh, we got this. Like, man, what if we do this and the police get us, or,
right.
All those scary thoughts came into our minds and heads, and then it's like, all right, get back into survival mode. Work, because New York, as you know, ain't no cheap penny. So then they got back to survival mode, and QuikLiq got to the back burner and put on the side because it was so much. But it was a learning experience because, like I said, a lot of it was just fear, the unknown, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of times you're a small fish in the pond. Like they're not looking at you. They don't. You're like,
They don't even know you
yeah,
exist, bro. Just
exactly,
go do what
exactly.
you can be as loud as ever on social media and you still don't even matter, really though.
Exactly. But again, when you don't know better, and this is back in the day too, especially, you just hear stuff and you let other people tell you different things. Oh, you go to jail for this and this. And I'm not saying, again, can't, but you gotta understand there's levels to this.
Absolutely.
And I think it was more of those fears and more, you know, that type of red tape. And like I said, the reality of the bills hitting that, you know, we've kind of put QuikLiq on the back burner. But, you know, if you fast forward to 2018, when I say QuikLiq really started in 2018,
okay,
where, you know, QuikLiq hit its stride and blossomed and became the QuikLiq that we see today. So fast forward, like I said, we had our little failures in 2013. You know, we moved out there to New York City. And I got an offer to move to Miami. Never in a million years thought I'd be living in Miami. Like I said, I was living in New York City in Harlem, and got an offer to move to Miami. And I was like, you know what, I would do it, because at the time I had a roommate, and it was like, my rent was cheaper. I was gonna be able to stay on the beach in the studio. And you know, coming from New York City, what's a studio? That's nothing. That's what we do, you know, all day, every day. So I took the risk, and I moved out here to Miami on the beach. And one day, me and my other co-founders, so I have two co-founders, three of us. I told you about Mikáel, the first, you know, and then AC came around in 2018, who's our third co-founder, Aaron. He's been in the alcohol industry for, you know, now probably about 15 years. But at the time, he was still working, you know, for one of the largest suppliers. And we was cool because, and good friends, because he went to Clark Atlanta University as well. He's actually a Q. So, you know, I'm a Kappa, he's a Q, Omega Psi Phi. So we bonded, but long story short, in 2018, we go into a liquor store, small mom and pop liquor store, and I see a sign that says alcohol delivery. And I'm like, alcohol delivery? And a lot of small mom and pop stores, kind of like the barbershop, where the owner will be working in the store and, you know, behind the register or whatever. And at this small mom and pop liquor store, the owner, the lady, she was there. And I was like, y'all do alcohol delivery? And she just started going off on me. She said, they can't get nothing right. We messing up on all the orders and this, that, and the fourth. And that's when it was like, it's 2018. It's still a problem. There's a void. QuikLiq. we cooking with grease.
I love those moments, right? Like that you can't even know is about to hit you because you let something get quiet for life, adulting, responsibilities, like all those things. And then your moment of truth came and looked for you while you were just out living your best life. Were you by yourself, or was one of your co-founders with you?
Yeah, Aaron. AC, that's what I'm saying. So he was the one that was in the supplier industry, understood the alcohol, the 3-tier system. And like I said, when she started going off on, because we was together, she just started saying, they can't get nothing right, can't make a delivery, this, that, and the fourth, this simple. And me and him just looked at each other like, are they serious? And I was like, I already had this idea. I thought about this back in 2011, 2018, and with his knowledge and industry experience, it took off like that. It was just like, this was, you know, way to go.
That's so freaking awesome. I love to hear stories like this, because most people think that first of all, the journey's just going to be smooth sailing, and then now you're just going to be on yachts and you just won and everybody knows your name. No, people, this is why these conversations are literally so important, so people can understand the real process of building something, one, but realizing that what you're building is so important, right? Because what you're doing is literally changing lives, changing an industry that's ran by money, and you're allowing people to do things responsibly. So we're going to get into all of that, but I love that that just hit. Okay, and so then what happened next? Tell us, keep telling us the story, because I'm all like.
So in 2018, like I said, we started QuikLiq. It was, you know, I knew from some of the, you know, mishaps and some of the foundation work that we did back in New York City, you know, to get the LLC, to, you know, get the EIN, to start getting the groundwork and foundation work, finding people that could help with building the tech and building the ideas out. And that's where we started to hit the roadblock of, it costs money for a lot of these things to happen and to deal with. And in addition to that, we're talking about building the app and building the SaaS platform. And we're not technical founders. I can't code and develop, nor can my other two co-founders, code and develop. And you start learning, the ins and outs about the tech space, marketing space, the operations space, the business development. You wear so many hats. So in 2018, the idea went off. We started the foundation 2019. In 2020, pandemic, happened, and I was working, and at the time, and the demand for QuikLiq just grew, just to get calls and hit up for these many orders, and it just got to the decisions like, hey, this is what you asked for. This is what we call champagne problems. Are you going to stand on business and make sure that your brand is everything and the service is everything you say it is, or are you going to continue to work this job because right now you just got the problems you asked for? I left my job and started making some deliveries. I was making deliveries.
Hello, it's your business, right? So
Yeah.
it's not, you're not a delivery driver. You're a business owner because you're doing what your business is selling. So it don't even matter.
Yeah, but in reality, at the time, I was making a delivery. I had to, answering the phones. But it was a business. I was generating revenue. People were seeing, building on the QuikLiq, the name, and it was gaining traction. And from that traction, 2021 is when we received our first investment from Dominique Fine. She's the first Black female executive at a Y Combinator.
Okay.
He invested in our company. She really just, taught us the difference between a small business and a startup.
Okay.
Do you want to be a small business or do you want to be a startup? And
what's the difference? What's the difference between a small business and a startup?
Well,
and like in a nutshell.
So I would say in a nutshell, a small business, you're growing one store at a time. It's one brick at a time. A startup is all about raising capital and scaling as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And, getting that momentum and scaling not just in one market, the next market. Whereas, if I was a barbershop, I could have one barbershop in Miami, and then I might get to, Fort Lauderdale. And but when I want to be a startup, I'm trying to raise capital. I'm trying to scale this big picture, the macro, and make this, a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company.
Okay, so you guys now you have an investor, you understand what it is, people are actually calling you, so you're getting customers, you're generating revenue, and this is during COVID, so now delivery is huge, on demand is huge, all these things are amazing. So are you and all your co-founders delivering, or did you guys have like a system in place? Like, how were you navigating this?
Yeah, so like I said, I've worn many hats at first, and when you think of QuikLiq, like I said, when I say we're a tech company, we're a tech company. I don't make any deliveries, anything like that. We're just like Uber Eats or Postmates, where all I do is on the platform that facilitates everything. But starting off, like I said, I started off, and I thought the vision was that we was going to build out our own, delivery system as well, our own fleet of scooters. And because I lived on the beach, it was like we're going to start with the scooters. I know scooters are easy on gas. The mileage of the beach. It wasn't that many rounds you can go through traffic and maneuver. And I was like, we're gonna get a fleet of scooters, and I'm gonna get some delivery drivers, and we got a call center in place to handle the calls and make the orders. And like, this is how this is gonna go down. So did exactly what I said. I hired some of my friends, got some delivery drivers, and when I tell you that's a business within a business.
Getting people in order on one accord, doing what you say you're going to do. Are you really there? Are you not there? Did you take it? Are you okay? Insurance. Did you get hit? Oh my goodness, why are you late? Like
Exactly. And as a business owner, what you realize is nobody, is going to treat your business the way you would treat your business. They don't care for your business the way it is. And especially at this level, there's a difference between a job and a career. To them, it's just a job. They'll leave your company for 25 cents more, 15 cents more, because it's a job to them. It's not a career. But for you, that means everything. You probably gave them a T-shirt, train them, took hours of the day, this, that, and stuff, and it's like, oh, they just quit.
You'll be listening to us. We really invested in you. Take this T-shirt and this cap.
Yeah. So I went down that route with making the deliveries and realizing that this is not gonna, be sustainable. I can't, make this work. And it just went off. Like, I think as a CEO and as founders, you got to be a problem solver. You got to be able to put out fires.
Quick.
And you got to be able to step to the plate to whatever it is. I had to start pitching. I didn't like, whatever, doing marketing. I got to start, you got to do it. So I say that to say, like, I knew that we couldn't make deliveries. It was like, well, all right, well, then how do we solve this problem? By grace of God as well. God has been a part of this journey every step when we've been down to our lowest and needed something to fall through to get to the next place. And I reached out on LinkedIn and got a connection with DoorDash, where I got a contract with DoorDash for them to make all our deliveries for us.
That is magical.
So then when that happened, it was just
you win the game.
Yeah.
What's up now? What's up? You got wheels. We talking. We cooking with grease. Okay.
Yeah. So then
entrepreneurship equals problem solve. Exactly. Having these type of authentic conversations are so important, specifically for the Black community, because we tend to talk ourselves out of it because it's hard, but it's also hard being broke. It's also hard going into somebody's job. And I've been seeing these memes and I'm just like, this is hilarious when they like, me on my way to work because I didn't dance on TikTok. Right? But it's the same thing, like me going to work because I watch X, Y, and Z start the company that I thought about 6 years ago, right? Like, we have to do it and just keep trying. And I'm so big on telling everybody, like, it's cute to start a business, but you have to understand that in order for you to thrive in a business, it's a spiritual thing. Creating wealth is a spiritual thing.
Like I said, it all starts with God, it all ends with God.
Period. Especially because if this is something that you are called to, that means that it doesn't matter who comes in the industry after you, because you're operating from your calling. Maybe they're doing it because they seen you do it and you make it look easy, smooth, and good, but they trying to do it, but you're in alignment. It's going to work out. There is no such thing as it's not going to work out. You just got to keep putting in the work to make it do what it do. So are you a full-time entrepreneur now?
Yeah, I've been full-time since 2020.
Oh my God. Yes, I've been full-time since 2019. And when I tell you that the real life struggle is real lifing, and it is like a roller coaster, like one day I'm like, this is awesome. Next day I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm dying. And then the next day I'm like, oh my God, we're doing it. And then like, wait, it's just literally like.
It's a roller coaster like no other.
I promise you. But if I'm being honest with myself, like, I would not trade it because it literally allows you to take something out of your head and bring it to market and watch people enjoy what you are doing. Like, that is.
It is. And Mikáel, he says all the time, like, QuikLiq was just an idea. It literally was just an idea. And to see where it's at now, like I said, we get emails out of email not too long ago saying, we wish you was in Colorado. QuikLiq was out here in Colorado. And just to see stuff like that is like, you know that you're still, solving a problem, filling a void in this world, and that, there is, something for, QuikLiq to keep on growing and scaling with. So, things like that just always is rewarding.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so talk to us about what does expansion look like? If you're pulling up to New York again, coming back to see us in New York?
Well, no, not first. We want to focus on Georgia. Our next opening up, in which we will be opening up and we'll be making announcements. Proud to say that we'll be opening up our Georgia market. Georgia's always been one of our biggest markets for us. It's where Mikáel, AC, like I said, we all went to school, all pledged there. Frats, and a lot of our investors. So from 2018 to now, we've raised about $345,000, $350,000, and it's been through all Black and brown founders, with the majority of them living in Atlanta.
Wow.
Atlanta's been waiting for us to open up. They've been waiting for us to go to market there, and we're proud to say that next month, this next quarter, we'll definitely be in the Atlanta market and making some noise.
Congratulations. It's amazing and it's so needed. That's so dope. I'm proud of you. I mean, this is really dope. I'm happy that you're sharing this with me. I'm happy that we're even having this conversation because I don't really even know how I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2019, but literally it is only God. You see my sweater, like, that's the only reason why I could do what I'm doing, because I have no clue. Anything else is wild. I can only imagine that you guys will do extremely well in cities because to your point, New York, I can literally walk outside and it's a grocery store across the street, and then it's a bodega across the street, and then it's a liquor store like I don't have to leave my neighborhood to go to a doctor's appointment, an eye appointment, a veterinarian. Like, so I imagine that you guys will thrive in cities where it may be a little bit of a distance to actually get to, right?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to highlight that at QuikLiq, we are the only, platform and brand in our industry. Like I said, you hear about that once was Drizzly, and now you got like DoorDash, Uber Eats, but we're the only platform that highlights Black-owned brands year-round. These other platforms, they may do like Black History Month, Juneteenth, and that might end of it. But it's really our responsibility to leverage our resources to get these brands out there, because some of these brands they're awesome. They should be in some of these points of distribution that these other brands are, but they don't got the same resources. So, for us to unify and stick together, it's important. So we make sure that we highlight these brands and we make an effort to partner with these Black-owned brands and emerging brands so that they can have some of the resources that we have, that we all can work together. Because like I said,
absolutely.
You already know.
I agree with you. And I feel like you can do something like similar to like what I'm doing right here with Word on the Block. And this idea came because when you're in an industry that may take some education, or for people to understand the importance of it, just having everyday conversations will help grow it, because people think suddenly you arrived. No, when they realize who you are, you're overnight success, but the night just lasted 12 years, 15 years. I can imagine you doing little short snippets with Black-owned brands, just sharing with us why this brand matters, what their story is, like I can see that.
Like I said, we have many different verticals for our business, but that is the B2B side is, partnering with these brands. And like I said, we do activations and events at residential buildings, at salons, spaces that you wouldn't traditionally think about. We have, boosted a lot of these brands' presence, beneficial for us.
Absolutely love it. Okay, so let's talk about a traveling perspective, right? Because, people love to come to Miami. Do you guys deliver to like hotel rooms, B&Bs? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, so of course, and this also goes into, another pillar of QuikLiq, and this goes into the nonprofit that we're starting called Think Quick.
Okay.
It's about responsible drinking. Like I said, when Mikáel and I first thought about this idea, we were drinking under the influence and, getting behind the wheel and driving with the liquor, that's, a red flag. So it's about education. My other two co-founders are TIP certified, which is the highest level of certification that you need when dealing with alcohol. So, just about education and seminars about, drinking responsible. So that's an initiative we're pushing and that we're going to be moving forward with this year as well. But that's what it's all about as well. It's like I said, we want to be responsible while drinking. We know we're going to drink, but it's bringing awareness to the situation. Like I said, even if you think about like at a homecoming, setting up IV stations and things of that nature, like I said, Think Quick will be on the way.
They drop it. Okay, we here for it. Off the cuff. But I would be interested in Block and QuikLiq doing something together. We can tag team the idea of a traveler coming in, and kind of create some content around that. I'm just saying, we'll let it marinate, but I could see something in that neighborhood happening.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I said, that is the way.
Yeah, and truth is we must work together, because that's how we're going to grow. Hard stop, period. I gotta partner with somebody anyway to get a better story. You got to partner with somebody anyway to get a better story. If there's some cohesiveness in our stories so that we can both win, I keep telling people, like, most people, and this is something that kind of hit me more recently, people like, oh, it's lonely at the top. And I'm like, why is it lonely at the top? And what I realized is people say it's lonely at the top because they put their head down and they work in silos. And by the time you arrive, you don't know nobody there because your ass had your head down, and then you left all the people who you was down there with. And so my vision is to work with other people who are climbing and moving and building, and then we climb together, and we just exchanging this information so that we don't have to do this by ourselves.
Exactly. I went to Clark Atlanta, it's HBCU. So, when it comes to unity and my views and Black, it's all about us sticking together. That's why I love Atlanta. I love Houston, DC. Miami is growing, it's trying to get there, but
Got some ways to go. Got some ways to go. We're not even going, I was there for 11 years. And when I moved there, I didn't even think about being an entrepreneur. That wasn't even part of, I moved there from Chicago. The weather was good, and I'm like, oh, I want to be here. And I have hospitality experience. Literally, that's how it was, right? But then once I began to take, okay, I think I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Wait, I think I am an entrepreneur. Wait, I think I'm a tech entrepreneur, right? And I started looking for my circle and looking around and trying to see what was going on. And there was a lot of games being played directly in my face. But I had no clue because I was because I was new to the whole thing. But once I realized, hold up, I am on somebody else's hamster wheel trying to play a game that was never even situated for me. I don't want to do this anymore. And then here I am in New York, making it happen on the calling, moving and shaking, right? But but Miami is an amazing market because of the high level of demand, because of its sexiness, because of its tourism, because of people wanting to have things at their fingertips. But it's just a matter of doing things on your own terms without having to play by their rules.
Yeah. Like I tell people all the day, Miami would chew you up and spit you out some way or another. Whether it's parking tickets or something, they're going to find a way to get you.
Parking tickets. I've never owned a car, like, ever. And I was just like, this is not you didn't own one in Miami. You didn't own one in Chicago. You're definitely not going to get one in New York. At some point, you'll grow up and get one, but it ain't now. So, okay. So what else do the people need to know about, like, what's in the future? We know that you're headed to Atlanta. Yes. Meg said, yes, it's not for the week. Miami is not. Yeah, she's in Miami as well. It's not for the week at all. It's because you really think it's like lights, camera, action, and then before you know it, you're a beach bum and you forgot that you came there on business.
Exactly. You're caught up in the nightlife, this, that, and the fourth, and like, well, you have responsibilities.
The nightlife that never ends, by the way.
Yeah. Like I said, if you looking for something, Miami got it.
Miami got all the stuff that you do want and all the stuff that will keep you distracted away from your dreams and away from your goals. Yes, you absolutely have to you have to work hard.
The discipline is really what you have to have out here. Like I said, I tell people all the time, like, to start a business in Miami with all the distractions going on, you got to have tunnel vision. You got to have discipline, because in Miami, man, it's so easy to just, get off course and go here and do that.
And you don't even know you are off course because you're having such a good time.
Or it's like when you live in Miami, it's like you're the friend that lives in Miami. So everybody's coming to Miami to come visit you, at one point in time. They all come in at different times. And it's like, 1 week after next week, it's like, well, hold on, I gotta, live life still.
Especially being a full-time entrepreneur, because then people think just because you're a full-time entrepreneur that you just have all the free time in the world. No, bro, I still got to do work. My family, I could not stop my family from visiting me from Chicago. Like, at one point I looked up, it was like 6 weeks, and every weekend I had a new visitor, and I was like, this is not what you're here for. You're getting distracted. Come back. So yeah, okay, all right, yes. So enough of Miami. Lydia said she was just there for Food and Wine Festival. I love Food and Wine. Oh my goodness, it was such a good time. I do miss Miami for the weather, the goodness that it has to offer. But you're correct. Without discipline, you will not be able to make it happen. You will not be able to make it happen. But look at you, thriving in Miami. So, because you guys are now going to Atlanta, does that mean that somebody needs to be in Atlanta temporarily for a few months? Like, how does that look?
Yeah, so my other co-founder, AC, he actually lives in Atlanta, Georgia, right now. And then also our COO, he lives in Atlanta, Georgia as well. So I already have a good starting team out there to get everything that's needed to get done. And we already have relationships and partnerships with some of the liquor stores already in Atlanta. It's just about operations, iron out the kinks, making sure that we get everything aligned, and then, the marketing behind the stuff that needs to get done. Like I said, I have a team of 7. I've been blessed to be able to grow our tech team. Like I said, none of our technical founders. I started off with overseas trying to find tech source, realizing that will, of money. But I have a director of technology, I have a principal data architect, and then we have another software engineer, and then you have my two other co-founders, Mikáel and AC, and then we have our COO, Steph. So it's 7 of us.
This is exciting. Like, this is really exciting. Are you guys gonna have like a party? I'm acting like I'm about to pull up. Are you guys gonna have a party, and when is it? Am I invited? No, this is really exciting. Like, how are you feeling? You guys are going into a new market.
Champagne problems. That's how I look at it. Because it's a whole new set of problems that I look at as the founder, CEO. That you're going to encounter. But there's a problem that you want to have is growth problems. So it's good to come with it. But you want to get to a point where you can level out that and just have the solid blueprint or have a solid budget to just go at as you want. But that's one of the things where you talk about coming together and being a Black founder and not having, that capital to have, the budget or the plan that you want to execute with the resources that you want to, utilize to get to that point. So, it's important to, come together and talk, because I think, with funding, we're like, less than 1% of, all the money that, that's raised, which is crazy to think about.
That was pre-DEI problems. It's lower than that. So how can a community support the market in Miami or even in Atlanta? Like, is there a call to action that we can kind of like point our community in the right direction?
Yeah, of course. So if you're in the Miami Beach, Miami area, you can download our app, QuikLiq, in the App Store. On our platform, if you work in the suppliers, distributors space, you can reach us on our website to see about partnerships. For us on the SaaS end with the suppliers and distributors, we provide data, we provide points of distribution with the liquor stores, sales reporting, and marketing for the brands. So we have a platform or a website that you can go to. And then for Atlanta, as we make announcements, definitely just download the app, now if you want to, but it will be serviceable in Atlanta, next month. And like I said, as we continue to grow, we'll keep you all apprised. And if you want, on our website, you can subscribe to our newsletter. We'll keep everybody, noted on what's what and how we're growing. We're excited to share the news. Like I said, it's been a journey, but we're here and we're not going anywhere.
And you're just getting started, really. Like, you're really just making it happen. This is so exciting. I'm so happy to witness all of this greatness. And before we wrap, I do have several questions. Yes. So if I am a consumer, because QuikLiq is for the consumer, right? I'm at home and I just want to have something delivered to me. Essentially, I have the app on my phone. I request what I want, and then it tells me my time expectancy and what else. Like, what else do we need to know?
Everything. So exactly like you said, you download our app, you put your address in the app, and then it will find the nearest liquor store that we have a partnership closest to you. Then you select the product that you want. Let's just say it's a bottle of Hennessy. After you select your bottle of Hennessy and you go through the checkout process and pay for it, it will then on the back end locate the nearest driver. I told you initially we had a partnership with DoorDash when we first started. Now I have partnerships with multiple rideshare companies. So we have the tech that kind of enables us to leverage all those rideshare companies. So whichever one can make the delivery the fastest, because we are QuikLiq, and emphasis on quick. So delivery or that rideshare go to the liquor store, make the delivery, come there, check your ID, verify, and it's delivered. QuikLiq bag, everything is tracking and everything like that. Just like Uber Eats or Postmates, except QuikLiq.
So dope. So dope. Congratulations. I ask all of our guests, do you prefer home sharing or hotels?
It's a both. I would say if I'm traveling by myself, hotel. With a team. It's the home.
I'm reading Lydia's message. She's a senior data analyst and a reporting developer. If you need some help, we'll make that connection. If someone on your team hasn't already, we'll make that connection because I have Lydia's information. So that's awesome. Thank you, Lydia, for that. I agree. I'm pretty much the same. Like, if I'm traveling with family, I could do home sharing. But if it's just me, I'm gonna go ahead and luxuriate in the hotel experience.
Definitely. We're on the same page.
The hotel experience. Okay, so fill in the blank. More people should travel because.
It will shift your paradigm.
Tell us more, because I
studied abroad in Beijing, China, in college, and seeing their way of life, some of the things we, take for granted in America, that they don't have as leverage, some of the hours they work, year round, it really, puts a different perspective on life for me. And it's a refreshing, and rewarding experience, to come back home to America and realize some of the things that we have. So traveling for me, it always opens, my mindset and opens, different experiences that, you won't never get. I tell people all the time, there's a difference between secondary data and primary data. You can do all the research you want online about this place. Until you go there, it'll be totally different. You'll meet with the locals and hear their stories and see this different route that they didn't show on the GPS or something like that. And it just gives you a totally different experience. So you have to physically go there as opposed to just doing some research and doing things of that nature. But yeah, traveling definitely, it will shift your paradigm.
1,000%. I say it's transformational. I agree. So then how does it unlock your creativity as a founder? Who do you become after you travel? Like what ideas are sparked when you get a chance to travel, whether it's for business or leisure traveling?
I mean, it's just peace of mind. Like I said, with all the chaos and everything that's going on in this world, to be able to go to a place where, your mind is free from that. Because, in life, we're all going to have stress. We're all going to go through things that's inevitable. But, the things that you can control, which sometimes, like you said, change the scenery, not having to worry about your cell phone blowing up and all the other things, just to have a peace of mind. I think that is a refreshing feeling, which sparks, a lot of ideas and a lot of motivation when I go back to, my home, to Miami, to, get back on the right track with QuikLiq or whatever, it is that I may be doing.
Agree. And Miami feels like a vacation, so it's really kind of hard. Like, wait, am I on vacation? Oh, no, I actually live here. So I live on permanent vacation. So listen, Navarr, thank you so much for joining us on Word on the Block. I am so happy that I got a chance to learn more of your story. I'm so happy to see that you are thriving. And I know I'm so excited that this is only the beginning. I already know that you guys are going to kill it. And just let us know how we can support. And we're going to see what we can do about that whole educational ad. I mean, because that was kind of like a gem off the top of the dome. So keep doing the amazing work, you and your co-founders. And we love to see it. And I'm so, so, so proud of you guys. Thank you.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for having us. Like I said, platforms like this is much needed.
Enjoy your Thursday evening, people. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your love. And we're going to share with the community. Keep being great. Well, I'll see you at the top.
Yep.
Bye.